Alright, this is just something that I personally want to know because you had mentioned it, and every time you kind of say something about it, we don't really get to talk about what it is. What the hell is the Peacemakers again?
Oh my goodness.
That's the funniest thing ever.
So Peacemakers is this like little crew that we made up. Back when this is my 5th year in high school. So as a super senior.
No, it was called Peacekeepers, no?
Peacemakers.
Peacemaker? Okay.
And how I know is because all of us changed our screen names to PM space whatever.
Wow.
It's official.
We all changed it. Yeah.
Wait, who was in it?
It was me, Mike, Chris, this guy named Young, another Chris, Derek, Chris's little brother Brian.
Oh shit, that's a gang. You have a gang, dude.
Maybe a few others.
This was during a time when there were real gangs though, and there were other clubs.
Yeah. So this was like in the SGV. I was getting out of like just any of that weird underworld life. So whether gangs or raves or drugs or whatever. And then this was probably the tail end of gangs. But there's still also like just random like, you know, in the SGV, they almost have like these high school type frats that you would, with all social clubs, you know? So it was like during that era. And we created this crew so that we can do like good for the community. So one of the things that we did would be like we had barbecues and we would send flyers out, get people to come and just hang out and pretty much try to get the people that were like don't have friends playing magic cards behind the bleachers to get them to come and join and
Wow.
This guy, I've never played.
So that's what we're trying to do. But what it ended up being is just a bunch of people like smoking cigarettes at the park. Oh shit, that's fucking loud. And then also what we try to do is try to do things for justice.
Sounds hot over there.
So if there's like
For justice.
yeah, so if people were like
So you're like heroes.
like if we go to parties and if we go to parties and like let's say if we tested someone, so for example, let's say I push Nick into Anthony. Anthony gives Nick a bad reaction, Nick will go fuck him up, and Nick is the peacemaker.
Oh,
So you would start fights?
The funny thing is, when I met them and they told me about this,
Yeah.
when they told me about this, like, all right, so we go into parties, right? And if, you know, sometimes you bump into someone and then they turn around and they're like, oh, my bad. And you go, my bad. And then they're like, that's cool. But then if they turn around, they're like, fuck you. And they try to be all tough, then that gives us the okay to fuck them up. And then I'm all like, you guys just want an excuse to fight.
We made sure everyone was, but we were making sure everyone was cool.
Yeah.
It's like
It's like Dexter, right? It's like, it's okay to fucking torture and be a psychopath if they're a bad guy. I think that's what they did, is they justified fighting because they still had that itch to fight. But they're like, we're not gonna do it for no reason.
wanna
We're gonna
fight
do it
for
for
good?
justice.
So we went to a lot of frat parties.
Wait, when you came up with this idea though, was it like in a serious like?
Yeah.
They were dead
It
serious.
was your
dude.
idea?
It was I don't know, I forgot whose idea it was, but you know when you're so
Is Bart's?
oblivious to your own bullshit that what you think you're doing is good. And like, oh, that's a great idea. This is how we're gonna like sift through the people that are fucked up and the people that are cool.
Hey, but in high school though, like that is like one of the worst fucking things you can do. Is like you bump into somebody, go, hey, you want to fucking scrap? Like those guys are fucking pieces of shit.
That's
Don't you
true.
think?
Yeah.
These guys live by code.
So you're just trying to like weed them out. You're trying to fight.
And then also to prepare so that we're good at it, Thursdays on Hershey Avenue in front of Mark Keppel, we ended up starting like this fight club. So we would have
Hone
fights.
your skills.
We would have like 3 to like 5 fights every single Thursday.
To practice their fighting.
Practice, yeah.
And then I think they eventually found an MMA gym, which I joined.
And how we joined was me and my best friend that had this.
Yeah.
This is when the UFC's early on, right? Because we graduated in 2003, so this is like super early on.
Damn.
We actually went to every single martial art gym in the SGV that we knew, like Monterey Park, San Gabriel, Alhambra, and we would go, hey, can we fight your black belt? If they beat us, we'll train here. And most people, oh, we don't do that. We don't
That's
do
a
whatever.
pretty sick test
Yeah,
though.
so we actually would go there and challenge.
That's such a Hong Kong action film.
And until the place that me and Joe trained at, we went there. He goes, you don't even have to fight one of my black belts. And he goes, I'll show you one of our belt tests. And then he played
with the
Everybody
belt.
was kung fu fighting.
So he played the belt test, and then it was like one of the craziest things I've ever seen because it was like straight up full contact. It was like full contact MMA. Right. And then he goes, and if you don't want to, we have this guy right here. He's a brown belt at the time. He goes, you can fight him anytime. And then we're like, oh, dude, let's sign up. This is the right place.
Oh, that's tight.
Yeah, that's how we ended up finding that gym.
Did you guys like walk in, fucking take their sign and like fucking break that shit?
Throw it on the ground. Peacemakers.
Peacemakers, man.
Makers.
Just wanna make
We're
sure
very,
How
very
long were you part
respectful.
of that gym for?
That one, I think I only trained there for like maybe a year. I think.
Dude, I saw a video of this guy's belt test. And
That shit's crazy, right?
He grabbed this guy by his head, knees him in the face, and just punches the shit out of him.
That was Ryan, by the way.
I know. He mugged somebody.
Is that allowed?
But there was like a 50-pound difference at the time too.
But that's how they got. That's just how
But
they
that's
got
what-
down.
50 pounds which way?
That's how we got down
under or over?
every day in there.
Yeah, the only difference was for that test we had headgear and we did hit headshots.
But they're beating the shit out of each other.
But yeah, every day we
It's
did.
wild.
I mean, every day we did that, and then on Fridays, yeah, we would put the fucking mask with the plastic thing on, and it would go 100%.
Did the guy?
I thought that was normal.
Did the master
Yeah, it
at that place? Did he know that like, oh, for the rest of the week we're gonna go to parties and just make sure fights don't happen?
No, but what he did say, he was like, hey, if you guys ever have to throw down, like, I don't want you guys fighting at parties, just bring it here.
Oh, but he said no Vietnamese.
But he said no Vietnamese, because he's like, Vietnamese will come back and shoot you.
Oh.
But he was so,
He said everyone else is
Was he
fine,
Chinese?
but no Vietnamese.
Japanese.
Japanese guy.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but he was super cool. He was like, yeah, if you guys ever have to throw down, don't fight on the streets, like, just bring it
The
here.
funny thing is, he's like so not your typical idea of a martial artist in the sense of like, you must always be peaceful.
Zen.
He'll say shit like, all right, if there's a fight, walk the other way. And then he'll come to class the next day, talk about how he fucked up a cop or how he fucked up these guys that were messing with his dad because his dad owned a bar.
In Little
And
Tokyo.
There's these two like big 6-foot guys that were like just trying to steal all of his cans, and I think his dad like keeps it for the recycle guy.
Oh.
And then they were like fighting over it, and he just came in and fucking did a jump, boom, punch to the face, and he said he punched the dude so hard that his fist went in his mouth.
Yeah, it went into his mouth, and when he pulled his hand out, all the teeth fell out.
He had a lawsuit with one of the cities because he was just hanging out at a bar. Some guy picked a fight with him, so he fucked his ass up. And then when he got back up from the ground, the guy pulled out a badge and he arrested him.
Oh.
Yeah, so he
This is like old school MMA. Like he would kick through Louisville Sluggers. You know the baseball bat? Yeah. This is like old school style.
Damn.
This is like
Bro.
2003. Like
If you're doing MMA back then and you have a gym with students like that, you were fucking pretty hardcore.
I thought that was normal.
Why is it mediocre?
I'll show you the video. That's like literally every day, and he would kick. He kicked through Louisville Sluggers. He's like, at home, what I want you to do is after you finish drinking a Corona or whatever, I want you to whack your shins with the glass bottle. That's how you're gonna get them stronger. He's a crazy motherfucker.
You know what
insane.
when he taught us, like, oh, when you go to competitions, like he goes, he used to do this thing called, was it Sabaki Challenge?
Sabaki Challenge.
So it's like a full contact with throws. It's Japanese kickboxing, and then he would psych himself out, and then he goes, every opponent, I would say, oh, he raped my sister. Now I have to kill this guy. So his head is just like, okay, that's how you get ready for a competition. It's like you got to go in there and you got to murder this dude. And I'm
Honestly,
like,
that does help though.
It's like method fighting.
Yeah, that's.
but he has a really good fight score. I think it was like only 2 losses and like 50 wins or something.
What happened to that guy?
He was a Sabaki Challenge champion. So that was kind of like pre-UFC, pre-Pride. It was like full contact kickboxing rules with throws. So you can throw, you can shoot, you can dump them, but then the fight will stop and then the ref will stand you back up.
Yeah, no grappling.
Yeah, so like
They actually brought it back recently.
Sabaki chance?
And they I think they had a Taekwondo guy fight a MMA Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy, and they're on an elevated stage. He double legs them,
Yeah.
all the way off the stage, and it's like a
shit.
fucking like 5-foot drop, and the guy like broke his arm. It was pretty
Yeah,
crazy.
our sensei was like the league that he fought in coming
Well,
up.
our sensei has a full contact background, full contact karate background,
Oh, okay.
and those guys go hard.
Those are they're hardcore.
Yeah.
Super
Yeah.
hardcore.
But what happened to him? I heard now, I think he sells cars at Honda.
Shut up. No way.
That's the last thing that I heard, yeah.
Well, dude, his
Aggressively.
gym was so hardcore. I think his gym
Civilly.
was so hard. Fucking car. It was hard for him to keep a lot of students. Because the guys that would stick around, you literally have to be fucking hard. Like, there's no way. And then, but he would produce fighters though. There were guys that went to King of the Cage. They would got like every single kickboxing match our top students went to, they always won. So like he produced some fighters.
Yeah, another fighter
Don't
that
pay
would
the
stop
bills.
by all the time, RIP, because he passed away, is this guy named Joe Camacho.
Wow.
Like he found out about this guy striking. He's, oh, this guy's really good at striking, so he would.
Joe Camacho's like a legit legend in this area.
in this
too,
area,
like-
yeah, like one of the OGs.
Yeah, one
Like
of,
he'd be
like,
like
the
a
first
Hoist
MMA
Gracie.
guys.
So he came down, he would train with us all the time.
Joe Camacho, bro.
So that would ever happen to like, you didn't need to do Peacemakers anymore? Everything was just fine out in the area?
So what ended up happening?
I remember we just stopped going to parties. Well, I was never a part of that dumbass group. I just thought it was hilarious. I just thought it was so funny. No, but I mean, like, I'm like, if we're gonna fight, let's go. I don't need a reason to fight. But I was also like, man, I don't want to do what you guys are doing. I just want to like focus on school and sell drugs.
Joe's the level-headed one.
Yeah, he'll make peace his own way.
But I think it was like we were all pumped up too. Like we got all these skills, man. Let's fucking use them.
Oh yeah.
When you're at the age of that's all you want to fucking do.
Yeah.
What an interesting group you did. That's so funny.
Yeah, but it's funny from the outside because then it's like, it's during that, you know, that era. So if we rolled up somewhere, everyone has fucking loud exhaust. It's like, and everyone gets out, smoke cigarettes, and it's like, we're trying to be this role model group, but it doesn't feel very role model-y. And then we're like, in every single like message we had like a little Bible verse at the end, try to like spread the good word of God.
This was a Christian
Because
group?
Peacemakers is based off of a Bible verse. Something like, blessed are the peacemakers. It's like an actual Bible verse. That's where Peacemakers came from.
Got it. Oh wow.
I was like, damn. Well, I don't know how down you guys are, but one time there was a bar fight because I had an issue, and they just joined in with me, and I was like, these guys are good.
They're making peace. They're literally.
They heard
John
my
Cena.
story, and they felt bad for me because I got my car bashed and all this stuff. So they said, you know what? If I see them, I'm joining you. And then they actually stuck to what they said. Because a lot of guys would say that. They're like, oh, man, if we see them. And then what they'll do is like, oh, man, my mom's calling me. I gotta go. These guys would be like, hey, I saw them at the bar. I saw them there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ooh. And they're like, all right, let's go. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Sounds like nothing but trouble.
Maybe they're still out there somewhere keeping the peace.